Number 7, we want to factor this trinomial. Now, we don't know what to do when there's a value in front of the n squared. What do? We're going to use a method called busting b. All right, so here we go. The value in front of n squared we refer to as the a value. Value right here we refer to as b, and the final piece with no variable in front of it we refer to as the c value. This again is called the busting b method because we're going to bust that b value into two separate pieces. Our a piece is going to stay, our c piece is going to stay, but our b is going to get broken into two parts. Now, how do we break it down? Here's what we do. We're going to do the a times c is how we will always start. 9 times 2 is how much? 18. So we have to, now we're simply going to do like we normally do. Hey, what numbers multiply together to give us 18? 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and that's it. There's nothing more, right? No, wait, there's 3 times 6, which is what we're going to use. Now, it is a positive 18, so either both pieces are positive or both are negative. How do I know they're both going to be negative? Because the sign here, when I add them together, I need to get a negative. These together, -3 and a -6, added together will give you a -9, yet multiplied will give us the positive 18. So what we're going to do here was we're going to write -3n and minus a 6n. That's what we have. Now, we're then going to do this by grouping. So we're going to group these front. I want to group these back, but if I do that and you group it, that's a problem because now you got to distribute the negative through, and that'll make that +2 change to a -2, and that's not what it is. So we can't do that. We got to come up with a little trick here. Here's all we got to do. Change your minus sign right here in front of the 6n to plus, and just put your negative on your 6n, and then group like that. That's all you got to do. Change -6n to plus a -6n, and then group the negative inside there. So now between these two, we have a plus and we're all good. So now we're going to factor out. This is factor by grouping. We look at the first group and we say, hey, 9 and 3, what is the greatest common factor there? Going to be a 3. What about n squared and an n? An n can factor out there. So 3 times what is a 9? A 3. N times what is n squared? An n. Minus 3 times what's a 3? A 1. And n times a 1. So it's just a 1 there because 3n times the 1 will be -3n. Plus, now here we look. You are going to factor out a negative number every time here. So I have a 2 and a -6. They both have a 2 that can factor out, but we are going to bring it out as a -2. Okay, we will have to do that. Now, -2 times what gives you a -6n? A +3n. -2 times what gives you a +2? That's going to have to be a -1 because -2 times -1 is a +2. Notice when we've done this now, we have a 3n minus 1 here and a 3n minus 1 here. So technically, they can actually factor out because you only have two real things you're adding here, the 3n times the 3n minus 1 plus the other part. So we factor out a 3n minus 1, and what's left behind is this piece in the front plus a -2. We will write that. I'm going to write that as just simply, instead of plus -2, we'll just write it as a -2. A 3n minus 1 times that 3n minus 2 gives you that 9n squared minus 9n plus 2 up top. And we have now factored that trinomial into the product of two binomials by using the busting b method.